Hello everyone, and welcome to the Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics Orientation. You are here because you have decided to embark on an interesting journey to advance your studies and long-term career. I would like you to enjoy the information that we will provide in the following videos. This information will help you to navigate your way through the university system and become acquainted with the department staff, the support systems, and the UWI life as a whole. Allow me to introduce the head of department, Mr. Eric Meshajon, for some welcoming remarks.
Welcome to all new students in the Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics. You have received already a lot of information, and we're going to give you some more right now, some more related to what is a major, what is a minor, what are the things you can study in our department outside of your field of choice, how you could combine electives, how you could do a minor, how you could do two minors if you really want to. And you'll get also to meet the staff members who will be handling you for the next 3 years, and also the clerical staff who you might have to refer to for administrative matters. The academic advising takes place in the next few days, and it helps you navigate the system, the academic system, but that's to say the courses you need to pick to make up your major, make up your minor, and pick some electives is necessary. So thank you once again for choosing our department, and I wish you an exciting journey in the DMLL.
Thank you, Head, for those welcoming remarks. Now, let's turn your attention to this exciting video. This video will provide you with information that will help you to navigate the UE system. I know you're new to this, so don't worry. Our former students will provide you with great tips to get ahead.
Somebody else's experience with the course is going to be totally different from yours. Enjoy your own experience. Just because your friends are in the same class as you doesn't mean that they will make good group partners. Choose wisely.
Hi everyone. So my greatest piece of advice to all of you is a reminder to pace yourselves. Don't let the amount of work you have to do intimidate you, but at the same time, don't underestimate it. And definitely don't leave it for the night before.
Okay, word of advice, I would say to definitely use your electives to try out courses outside of your chosen major. You can kind of think of this as if you're giving other majors like a chance, and you especially want to do this in your first year because you want to make sure that the major that you choose is really the one that you want to graduate with.
If I could give my first year self one piece of advice, it would definitely be to find out more about and to utilize the student support services available to you. Resources and services such as counseling and academic support help to make the student experience less stressful.
J'aurais aimé à quel point le service de conseil de l'IUI m'a été utile lorsque je suis entrée à l'université. Cela m'a donné un espace sûr pour parler de mes problèmes de santé mentale lorsque tout devenait trop accablant.
Something that I wish I knew when I first started university was to finish all your English foundation courses ASAP, because those really help you in a major way with all of your courses at the university.
UE did not only offer studies at their main campuses, but allowed for students to grasp amazing opportunities to study at international universities they have partnered with to provide overall and diverse learning experiences to make your academic journey worthwhile.
So now that you have seen those faces, let's introduce you to one member of the linguistics team, Dr. Benjamin Graffit. He would have been our coordinator for the linguistics program last academic year. So you're probably wondering, what is linguistics? Let's find out.
Hello everybody, my name is Ben Braithwaite. I am a lecturer in linguistics here in the Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics, and I have a short video here to explain to you a little bit about what is linguistics. Not everybody has much experience of linguistics. You might not have done it at school, you might not really know what it is. It's a bit different with things like French and Spanish. I'm assuming that everybody who's coming in to do a degree in Spanish knows what Spanish is. You don't need a video about that, right? I hope not. Same thing for French. But linguistics might be a bit more mysterious to you. And most of the students in our department take at least a few linguistics courses. Obviously, the linguistics students do, the ELLE students do, the SLP students too. But also the French and Spanish students will often take at least first-year courses in linguistics, and they might take a minor as well. So you might be wondering, what is this linguistics? And I don't have much time to explain, but I'm going to ask you a question, which you can reply to your computer or your phone or however you're watching this. Are there broken languages? Have you heard of the idea that there might be a broken languages that certain people speak in a broken way? Maybe that you've heard people talk about broken English. Maybe you've heard people say that some Trinidadians, some Tobagonians, maybe some Jamaicans, maybe St. Lucians or Glaswegians, or all kinds of people that speak broken English. Have you heard that before? Has anyone said that to you? What does it mean? Think about what it means. And it's not just broken English that people talk about. This is a quote here from a linguistics research paper based in St. Lucia. And this quote comes from a St. Lucian woman whose first language is Creole, or French Creole, or Patois, as we call it in Trinidad. And she's talking about her first language, which is Patois. And she said, "We don't speak a real language, we just speak broken French." So there's broken English, there's broken French. What does that mean? And then this is another quote. This time it comes from a recent PhD thesis from one of our students. Actually, it's Jennifer De Silva, who you might have seen or you will see through the faculty office. And Jennifer did her PhD thesis on Trinidad Bhojpuri, or Hindustani, which is the language that came from India during the indentureship period. And there are still a few older people who speak the language. And if you look at this quote, I like this quote partly because it uses dialect in there as a verb. I hadn't seen that as a verb before. So you see this saying, you see how we dialect in here with the Hindi? And towards the end of the quote, this person said, "You could learn the grammatically correct Hindi with pen and paper, but not this broken Hindi." Broken Hindi. So broken French, broken English, broken Hindi, everything mash up. And even sign languages. People talk about sign languages in this way as well. So at the top of this slide, you'll see a little extract from a dictionary of Trinidad and Tobago Sign Language. And what they say in this introduction to the dictionary is that before someone went and brought American Sign Language to Trinidad, deaf people communicated just using gestures and mimes and facial expressions and that kind of thing. But apparently that means, what, they didn't have their own language? They didn't have a real sign language? Maybe it's a broken kind of a language made up of bits and pieces? Well, if you go and speak to older deaf people who were around before American Sign Language came here, like the people that you see at the bottom of the slide, what you find out is, well, they did have a language. They had their own language. There are some words there that you can learn. It includes one of my favorite TTSL signs, a sign for stupid, which is like this, stupid. And what I want to suggest is maybe this idea that some languages are broken, maybe that's a stupid idea. And my last quote is from a linguistics hero of mine, a very brilliant and wonderful man called John Henner. And something that John wrote was, how you language is beautiful. How you language, he means how you sign or talk or however you express yourself through language. How you language is beautiful. Don't let anyone tell you your languaging is wrong. Your languaging is the story of your life. And for me, this is really the essence of what linguistics is about. There is no such thing as broken languages. There is no such thing as bad languaging, bad languages. However you language, whatever anybody tells you, it's beautiful. And if they tell you that the way that you language is wrong or bad or broken, well, don't listen to them. Because as for myself, the way that I talk, in my accent, you can hear where I come from. You can hear a little bit of my parents in the way that I talk. You can hear a little bit of the friends that I grew up with. You might even be able to hear a little bit of the time that I've spent in Trinidad over the last 16 years. You might be able to hear traces of that in the way that I talk as well. And the same is true for everybody. The way that you language, the way that you express yourself, that's the story of your life. And it's the story of the life of the people and the community that you come from. So, when you study linguistics, what we're doing is we're looking at the beauty in languages. We're looking at the structure and the rules and the patterns and the way they work. We're understanding why it is they're not broken, because we can see how they work and how they fit together. We're understanding what it is that your language says about you, the way that you language says about you, and what it is that you can tell or that you can't tell about somebody else by listening to or looking at the way that they language. So that's, in a very short presentation, what linguistics is. I hope that you all will come to sign up for classes. We have 2 first-year classes in linguistics this semester coming up. One is Ling 1002, Introduction to Morphology and Syntax. I'm teaching that one, sign up. And the other one is Ling 1005, Introduction to Language. Sign up for that one too. And hopefully we will see you. So thanks everybody, and see you all soon.
Let's turn your attention to our program coordinators. Let's meet these persons who you can go to in the event you have any questions. You may not necessarily have to interact with them daily, but these are some faces that you should know to help you ensure that you have the information you need. Meet Dr. Renee Figuera, Linguistics Undergraduate, English Language and Literature in Education and Caribbean Sign Language Coordinator. We also have Dr. Sabrina Chinian, French Undergraduate and Postgraduate Coordinator. Dr. Adonis Diaz Fernandez, our Spanish Postgraduate Coordinator. Dr. Byron Jones, Linguistics Postgraduate Coordinator. Mr. Romulo Gadez Fernandez, Spanish Undergraduate Coordinator. Dr. Kiara Matthews, Speech Language Pathology Coordinator. Ms. Lenore Graves, Academic Literacies Program Coordinator. I am sure you heard a lot of new terms this morning at our orientation. The faculty would have shared terms such as academic advising, registration, and you were wondering, what are these terms? So now I'm going to turn you over to my colleague, Paula Palma Rojas, an instructor in the Spanish program, who will tell you a lot more, and we call this capsule DMLL Starter Pack.
Hi everybody, my name is Paola Palma. I am one of the instructors in the Spanish program, and today I welcome you to academia and the Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics. We are going to talk about some academic terminology that you need to get familiar with, what academic advising is and why it's so important, and the registration process. Let's start with academic terminology. So you will be hearing people telling you or asking you about your major degree or your minor degree. The difference between a major and a minor is that the major is that subject that is the main focus of your studies. For example, is the degree in which you got accepted, whether linguistics, Spanish, or French, or ELLE. The minor degrees is a group of courses that will also give you sort of a degree in an area that will complement this major area of study. If you decide to add a minor to your degree, so you will be graduating with 2 degrees instead of only 1. Instead of having a minor in linguistics, a major in linguistics, you can have a major in linguistics with a minor in Spanish. So this major degree is mandatory, and all the courses that are part of this major degree are mandatory. But you also have the option to add to that major degree a minor or 2 minors or even a second major. Just have to keep in mind that each of them come with a certain number of credits, and you need to complete those credits in order to get the degree. So that's why it's important for you to remember or to keep in mind what are core courses, electives, and prerequisites. So core courses are those mandatory courses in your degree. In order for you to get a degree in linguistics, you are required to do a specific number of courses. The electives are another option that you have within your degree. So every semester you have the option of doing 2 other subjects as electives. These subjects or these courses, they can come from other programs, other departments, other faculties, and these are areas that you want to explore because you may have an interest in those areas, but you don't want to make them the whole area of expertise, you know. Prerequisites are courses that are required in order to do another course later on. So, for example, in Spanish, we have course in translation in level 3, in year 3. But in order for you to be able that translation course in year 3, you have to do Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. So that means Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 are prerequisites for the translation course. This is something that you have to keep in mind way in advance. That way you can plan ahead. If your plan is to do translation in year 3, instead of waiting until you reach year 3 to see if you can register or not for the course, you have to plan ahead, because if the course has prerequisites, you have to do them in year 1, in year 2, so you can do that course in year 3. It happens for other courses in year 2, so this is something that you always have to keep in mind, and that's why it's important to plan ahead. Credits, I like to see credits like points. So these are points that you collect along your program. In order to get a degree in the Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics, you are required to have 90 credits from the courses that are required in your program. So keep that in check. Read the handbook, the student's handbook, because it gives you specific information of what courses you are required to do and how many credits you get from each of those courses. The GPA is the average grade from your degree. So every course that you do, you will get a grade then we calculate those grades and give you an average. That's the average grade of your degree. Just keep in mind that that GPA must be kept above 2.0 at all times. Academic advising is an exercise that we have available for you at the beginning of every semester, but also along the semester, in which we will give you advice about the courses that you are doing for your degree, or what courses you need in order to build your professional path. So depending on what you want to do in the future, we can advise what courses you should be doing in university. An academic advising hold is a restriction that you have in your account, so you will not be able to register any courses until you get academic advising. So that's the university's strategy to ensure that you do get academic advice. Academic advising, as some of you have already received, we have three types of academic advising. We have the department academic advising, which is the one that you received during these weeks at the beginning of every semester. We are available for you to come and see us. We discuss what your plan is, what courses you plan to do or you want to do. We advise you what's the best way forward so you can register for your courses. You also have access to faculty academic advising, which is held by the administrative staff at the dean's office. They will handle special matters that we cannot handle as your lecturers. And then you will also be assigned an academic advisor. So one of us, one of your lecturers or instructors, is going to be assigned to you as your personal academic advisor. This is the person that you will be discussing with every decision that you make along the way. If you fail a course, you have to let us know so we can help you plan ahead. If you want to change your courses or your path, you have to discuss it with your academic advisor. So please come and check that person at least once per semester. And the registration process, the university has put in place 7 steps for the registration. If at some point you forget any of these steps, you can go to the faculty website, which is this one, /FHE. Scroll down to the virtual help desk, and you will have access to some additional information, step-by-step instructions for the registration process, to register courses in Banner, also where to find the timetable. If you go back to the general university website, scroll down to current students, and here you can access the student portal. So here in the student portal is from where you do almost everything. You have access to your email, which should be the only email address that you use to contact your lecturers. If you try to contact us from your personal email, most likely the system will block it. So we will never get that email. Always use your UE email. Identify yourself, because we may have plenty Annas in our courses. So please make sure that you specifically say which Anna you are, in which course you are registered, because we teach more than one course. You will also have access to My Learning, which is the portal that we use for to deliver the courses. So all the course information, materials, resources, everything, instructions, everything is going to be posted here on My Learning. And My Secure area is where you go to register your courses. So check the step-by-step registration process. And here through My Secure area, you will be able to register your courses, get the fee sheet that you need to present to GATE, and everything else. And this is what My Learning will look like. This is the portal. You will see the courses that you are registered for. And like you can see here, I'm registered for the Spanish courses. If you click on each of these courses, you have access to the course content, materials, instructions, anything. So if you have any questions, please always contact us. Let us know. Any question at all, we are here to answer it. If you want more information about what the department is about, follow us on social media or on our website. So I will see you around.
I'm sure that was a lot of information, but Paula would have made it much clearer for you to understand. Now, let's hear from Michaela Lewis. Michaela is a former undergraduate student in our department. She will tell you about her study abroad experience. Michaela, over to you.
Hello and good day, everyone. My name is Michaela Lewis, and I'm here to share a bit of my experience of being a language assistant in France while being a student at the University of the West Indies. So I entered UE as a French major, and that was how I heard about the program. And it was always my dream to have a career that would allow me to travel the world, see new people, experience new cultures. And so once I heard about this program, I immediately signed up. So what is the program and what does it entail? So what I did is I went to France. I had the opportunity actually to go to France or a French-speaking country within the Caribbean in order to work with an English teacher, either at the primary or the secondary school level, to help students learn English, essentially. Now, as the name suggests, you are just an assistant, so you aren't expected to be in charge of a class of 20 or 30 students. And you can help students through just simply speaking to them about things that they like, having mini presentations about particular grammar points that you think that they need help with, planning fun activities, like Pictionary was a big hit, simple things like that. What was my experience like? Well, there was obviously good and bad. So we'll start off with the negatives. The day that I arrived in France, I was extremely overwhelmed. And kind of shifting back a bit, you don't need to be a French major in order to qualify for this program. All you need is a B1 level of French, which is intermediate. And even though I was at that level, when I arrived in France, I could not understand a word of what anybody was saying to me. I would just like nod politely and just say "oui" over and over, hoping that they would just stop talking to me because I could not understand a thing. And obviously that's because, you know, learning French in a classroom is different to speaking to natives. I was also, you know, for the first time away from my family for that long. I'm extremely anxious when it comes to social situations. So having to meet completely new people, knowing nobody over there was just something that I was not looking forward to. And for the first 2 months that I was in France, and I just stayed in my apartment the entire time, other than going for food or going to work. That was basically how the first 2 months of my stay went, which obviously hindered my experience. It hindered my language learning, you know, process. And, you know, thankfully I stayed in a very nice town full of amazing people. And the name of the town was Verneuil-sur-Avre, which is in Normandy, about an hour away by train from Paris. And this town is a very small town. I think the population was about 3,000 people, if so much. And they were very nice. They were very welcoming. They were very open, and they, you know, realized what I was doing, and they started, you know, inviting me out to places and to do fun activities with them. So, you know, that is not an experience that I would have had unless I took the chance and went over there. So that was it for basically the negatives, and some of it was my own fault. Obviously, the other was a bit of an adapting period that I needed to go through. But obviously the positives, the food, amazing. And I was also able to travel a lot as well. So I went to places like Trouville-sur-Mer, which is a town on the coast, on the north coast. It was freezing when I went, so them having a beach there did nothing for me. But it was very beautiful. The food there was great, and there was actually, as you can see in the photo, a hotel that they actually renovated into apartments. So it was like an old hotel, think like Roaring 20s, Great Gatsby type grandeur, but now they just kind of like changed it to modern apartments, which was actually really cool. And of course, Paris, like I mentioned previously, it was just an hour away, so I was there basically all the time, which was really cool to be able to tell my friends. But of course, I was able to travel to places outside of France. Unfortunately, because of COVID, I didn't travel as much as I would have liked to. But I still, tried to make the best of the situation that I was in. So I went to Milan, which is in Italy. Amazing food. The art there is amazing. The architecture is stunning. It was just an all-around amazing experience. And I also went to Germany. I spent a week with a family there. And like I said, meeting new people. I actually went to Germany with a friend that I made over there who was German. She asked me if I wanted to spend a week with her family, and I said, of course, And I had like the authentic German experience. I got like German food. There was currywurst, which I didn't expect to like, but I actually did. I love pretzels. I love pretzels, like in general. So pretzels were just a win for me. I went to Hamburg, I went to Berlin, I went to little, towns around Germany as well. So it was actually a really fun experience. I also got to experience a few cool things as well. I played a bunch of sports while I was there. So basketball, I have here a picture of a basketball game that I went to. It wasn't Lakers versus, Golden State, but, it was still pretty cool. I played a few other sports like hockey, golf, badminton, volleyball, which I'm still not good at. Football, still not good at that either, but I played it, which is what is important. I actually also wasn't into art before I went there, but I was captured by the stunning art pieces that they had in their museums. So I have a picture of a painting that I saw at the Louvre and the ceiling of the Petit Palais, which was incredible. And obviously the whole reason that I was there was to teach. Now, in this photo here, where I am in the center in the lilac hoodie, if you couldn't tell, because I'm about the height of my students, this was a class that actually had learning challenges. So everybody in this class didn't really have an easy go at school. And once I told the other teachers that were working in that particular school that I was assigned that class, they all kind of said good luck, because that class had a bit of a reputation of being difficult to teach. But I had absolutely no problems with this class. They were all very enthusiastic to learn. Every time I walked into that class, I would be greeted with the biggest smiles. And I was extremely sad to leave them behind because of how much fun I had teaching them, even though people kind of told me to just kind of brace myself. I found myself looking forward to their classes, and that's just one of the classes that I had to teach. I had a bunch of classes and all of these students were amazing, but this particular class just kind of stuck with me, and I think I miss them the most. And I can go on and on talking about this program, but I'm gonna leave it there. So thank you very much for your time and attention, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.
So you would have heard about the exciting experience to study abroad. Our BA Spanish and French students, I'm sure it has you very much intrigued by now. But now, let us turn your attention to the Academic Literacies program. Ms. Lenore Graves, our coordinator, will share some vital information so that you can successfully complete your academic literacies program requirements.
Hello, and welcome to the Academic Literacies program, the ALP for short, which is a section of the Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics. Congratulations to all of you on this awesome journey that you are embarking on. My name is Lenore Greaves, and I am the coordinator of the ALP. I want to share with you some information about our courses so that you have an idea of what to expect in preparation for these courses. I would also like to underscore the importance of these courses to your university journey. One of the first questions students ask is, where is the Academic Literacies program located? We have two main landmarks. The first one is the clock at the top of the humanities building, and the second one is our location close to the KFC outlet on the St. Augustine campus. I like to think that our location on the ground floor is an indication of the importance of the academic literacies courses to your university journey and to the quality of degree that you will attain, because the foundation is what you need to build from. Another question students ask is, why these foundation language courses? Developing sound language skills is an ongoing need that we all have so as to effectively convey ideas to others. But the global and university communities have a certain expectation of a graduate literate. And one of those expectations is that graduates would have sound writing or academic skills, sound language skills. Another reason for pursuing the foundation language courses is because we need to improve our oral and written competence for the new academic context that we are in. Because you are now a junior academic or a student academic, and you must follow the same principles as expert academics such as your professors, lecturers, and tutors. What is the main difference between the writing that you would have been doing for CSEC and the writing that you are expected to do now at the tertiary level? One of those differences is the new context. You are now in a tertiary level academic context, and here the conversations that you would have would be a lot more formal than everyday talk. So, as a result, we have to place greater emphasis on crafting our responses to ensure that they are well supported with research evidence and that they are adequately organized to convey our ideas effectively. The ALP offers a number of foundation language courses. Found 1001, English for Academic Purposes, Found 1103, Argument and Report Writing, and Found 1104, Writing about Literature, Found 1105, Technical and Scientific Writing, Found 1106, Academic Writing for Research Purposes, and Found 1107, Writing in the Visual and Performing Arts. These are courses offered to students pursuing degrees, undergraduate degrees to be exact. FDMU is also offered by the ALP, but it is geared towards students pursuing a certificate course, particularly a certificate in music. Another question that students ask is, which student body pursue these courses? Almost the entire university, at some point in time, are expected to sit courses offered by the ALP. The Faculty of Humanities and Education, sections such as Modern Languages and Linguistics, your section, School of Education, and the Creative and Festival Arts students are all expected to pursue courses offered by the ALP. The Faculty of Social Sciences, Law, Science and Technology, Food and Agriculture also are expected to sit courses offered by the ALP. I would focus particularly on the courses offered to the Humanities and Education students, the faculty to which you belong. In Humanities and Education, we do a number of courses. Found 1001 or 1106, depending on your entry qualification. The students who come in with qualification from CSEC, either English Literature or English A, will pursue Found 1001, while those who come in with CAPE qualification will pursue Found 1106. Some of the students pertaining to their degree program may do Found 1103, which is Argument and Report Writing, but generally it's the students from law who would be expected to pursue that course. Students from School of Education are generally expected to do Form 1104, writing about literature. However, with the new foreign language requirement, some of these students may not be compelled to do 1104 anymore. Form 1106 is generally pursued by students in the Department of Creative and Festival Arts. Social science students also follow a similar 1001 or 1106 pattern as humanities and education, while the faculties of science and technology, food and agriculture, they pursue from 1104 technical and scientific writing. Regardless of which foundation course you are expected to pursue, there are some common features of writing in any one of these courses that we try to make you aware of. One of those features is that need to be more objective in this academic environment. You have to shift your tone to one that is more formal because your audience is a different audience to what you had in secondary school. So that you always shift your writing to suit your purpose and your audience. Another feature that is common to all of these courses is the need for research evidence. All our essays, our responses to academic questions must show evidence of research. We have to support our ideas with the research from other scholars. Our responses need to be structured as well. So in our courses, we engage with thesis building, essay and report structure, essay planning, paragraph development. We show you how to narrow broad topics. We show you how to arrive at a particular focus, and we introduce you to documentation conventions. We do many other components of writing, but these are just some of the few that I am sharing with you. Students often ask, how will I know which course to do? Your faculty and program guidelines are always there for you to peruse. But because the courses are of key importance to your academic program, discussion about which course is relevant to your program will be done in academic advising. So your program advisors will give you information regarding which of the foundation courses you are expected to select. So you're not alone in selecting these courses because we want to ensure that you do the foundation course that is relevant to your program or degree. A very important question that students ask is, when should I pursue language foundation courses? It is recommended that these courses be attempted in your first year at the university. So in semester 1, the relevant courses that you have to do for your program, and in semester 2, if you have to do a second course, foundation course, then you're expected to do it then. Why is it so urgent to do it in your first year? Because of the value that it is going to add to your understanding, to your learning, to your written work. It is important that you review, revise, and refine your language skills in your first year of university. So the time to do it is now. Again, to support you in this very, very significant endeavor, we have a number of support measures. We have a number of language coaching and workshops that, as students of the foundation program, of the ALP program, you are freely allowed to do. So we have staff office hours. In the same way that your program will have staff office hours, we could meet on a one-on-one basis with your tutor or lecturer to discuss some area of interest that you probably need more details for, or that you just want to ensure that you're going on the right track. We have practice writing, consultation, grammar workshop, writing workshop, and the writing center. Each of these will offer particular support in writing. Practice writing is about you writing an essay or part of an essay and submitting it for feedback from one of the full-time instructors at the ALP. Consultations are done based on credit assignment. If you have done a credit assignment and you want to get some clarity as to your strengths and areas to enhance, then you could ask for a consultation about that particular credit assignment. The grammar and writing workshop offer fundamental and basic revision of grammar components and writing components that will enhance what you're doing in the found courses, and overall, all of these will improve your writing in your program courses. The Writing Center offers individual coaching, so you would have to schedule an hour or a half hour with a writing coach in the Writing Center, and you get direct feedback and guidance as to how to develop your writing style. Another important piece of information that you should note is that lectures and tutorials in the foundation courses begin week 1 of teaching. For this semester, tutorials and lectures begin just as in your regular program from week 1. So visit the course shell and select a tutorial for you to attend. In closing, I just want to remind you of the value that foundation courses are supposed to add to your degree program. It will enhance your entire journey. Please remember that the skills that you will be exposed to, that you may learn in the foundation courses, is not limited to foundation courses alone. You must make a conscious effort to transfer what you have learned in terms of organizing your work, planning your work, critiquing your work, developing your paragraph. You must transfer that knowledge to how you respond to your program courses, how you respond to questions in those courses. So language skill is not limited to the ALP courses. It must be transferred throughout your university programs. We at the ALP are anxiously and excitedly waiting on you, waiting to begin honing your writing skills. So we look forward to seeing you at the ALP. Do have a very successful semester, and I wish you the best on your academic journey.
So you've met some of our teaching staff and you've met the coordinators of our programs in the Department of Modern Languages and Linguistics. Now, I want to introduce you to the other members of the Academic Literacies Program teaching team. You've just heard from the coordinator, Ms. Lenore Graves. We have a number of other instructors and 2 lecturers in the department. Let me introduce you to all of them. Mr. Tyron Ali and Dr. Karen Sanderson Cole, lecturers in the department and of the ALP program. Our instructors are Ms. Rhoda Barrett, Mrs. Janique Dennis Prescott, Dr. Amina Ibrahim Ali, Mrs. Willessie Oton Aniset, Ms. Melanie Pouchet, and Mrs. Patrice Kwame Waller. Now, let's meet the members of the French program. You've met one of the key members of the French program, our head of department, Mr. Eric Meshajon. Now, the coordinator for the program, Dr. Sabrina Chinyan. Let me introduce you to the full-time members of the linguistics team. You've heard from Ben, Dr. Benjamin Braithwaite, the former coordinator of the linguistics undergraduate program. Our current coordinator is Dr. Renee Figueroa. She is coordinator for the linguistics undergraduate program as well as the ELLE program and Caribbean Sign Language interpreting. Other lecturers in the section are Dr. Sandra Evans, Dr. Joanne Ferreira, senior lecturer in the department, Dr. Byron Jones, postgraduate coordinator and lecturer, Dr. Kiara Matthews, Coordinator and Lecturer of the Speech Language Pathology Program, otherwise known as SLP. Let's meet the members of the Spanish team. Dr. Oscar Bazan, Lecturer. Dr. Adonis Diaz Fernandez, Coordinator of the Postgraduate Program and Instructor. Mr. Romulo Gadez Fernandez, Undergraduate Coordinator and Instructor. Ms. Paula Palma Rojas, another instructor of the Spanish team. And finally, Dr. Anne-Marie Pouchet, Lecturer of the Spanish team. Now, let me introduce you to the administrative team of the department. I am Janelle Francois, your administrative assistant. Joining me in the department, we have two secretaries, Ms. Sophia Shakir and Mr. Robert Baird. We also have our valuable AV technician, Ms. Carice Jackman. Added to this valuable team, we have Mrs. Nicolene Brathwaite Copeland, Mrs. Renuka Hitlal, and Ms. Jamila McQueen. Attached the Academic Literacies program of the department. Our newest admin team member is Mr. Gavin Parsons, attached to our main office. I hope we can all be of value and service to you. In the department, we also have a Caribbean Interpreting and Translation Bureau. We provide an essential service in translation of key documentation for persons who are non-native speakers of Trinidad and Tobago. Two members run the CITD, our head of department, as well as Mrs. Linda Logan Salina, the coordinator for the CITD. If you ever need us, please feel free to reach out for our services in translation, particularly, and most common would be translation of Spanish documents to English language. So you've heard from some of our students explaining their experiences and sharing tips that can help you get the best experience out of the university. Now let's hear some more of their experiences, where they will tell you things that they wish they knew when they first entered the university or as they continued along their journey in completing their degree. Now let's listen to another clip of What I Wish I Knew.
I wish I knew how many clubs there actually were at school. Whatever your interest is, UE probably has it. Swimming, public speaking and debating, reading or writing, it's all there. It's also important to assume leadership roles at school. So either be a class rep or join the Guild of Students Council.
One thing I wish I knew before starting my degree was the amount of compulsory or foundation courses that I needed to do. But not to worry, they are completely manageable and they are very useful.
One thing I wish I knew when I first entered UE was to space out my lectures and my tutorials. I just wanted to have as much free time as possible, but that ultimately did not give me enough time to rejuvenate between my classes. So make sure and strategically plan your timetables so that you have enough space between your classes and it doesn't become overwhelming.
I wish I knew that at the University of the West Indies there are a number of foreign language clubs that are here to assist students in any way possible. For example, there is the Spanish Club of UE that is geared towards empowering Spanish students as well as displaying Latin and Caribbean culture to the wider public.
Una cosa que me hubiera gustado saber antes de unirme al Departamento de Lenguas Modernas y Lingüísticas es la gran cantidad de apoyo que se recibe durante el tiempo en el departamento. Estoy agradecido de haber tenido la oportunidad de experimentar eso.
I wish I could tell my year one self to join no more than 1 to 3 clubs because you still have your academic life to juggle along with these extracurricular activities, and it can be a bit stressful or difficult when you were in as much clubs as I was. So remember, no more than 1 to 3 clubs.
What I wish I knew when I began my program is the cumulative nature of linguistics. So my advice to you today would be that as you progress, it becomes increasingly necessary for you to revise and remain on top of content. This helps you see the way in which components are intertwined and the link between courses. Good luck!
So you've heard from our former students, you've heard from our staff. I hope we have provided you with all of the information to get you started on this journey with us. If not, come visit us at the DMLL.